There's a very familiar kind of trouble for anyone who works with DIY tools or power equipment, when something isn't broken but still can't be used. The drill itself sits neatly in its case. The body looks clean. The trigger still feels solid. At first glance, you'd think all it needs is a charge battery. But that's exactly where the problem begins. The detachable battery has been forgotten for far too long. During months or even years of inactivity, the battery wasn't maintained or topped up. Inside, the cells slowly degraded without any obvious warning signs. No smoke, no burning smell, no dramatic failure. Everything looks normal until the moment you actually need it. You plug it in to charge and nothing happens. No lights, no response, just silence. That's when frustration kicks in, because it's not truly broken. It's just unusable. Taking the battery in for repair only adds another layer of headache. The technician opens it up, checks the cells, talks about replacements, balancing, testing, and then comes a price. A number that makes you pause, because it's almost half the cost of buying a brand new drill. Fixing it feels expensive, not fixing it feels wasteful. And throwing away feels even worse, because the drill itself is still perfectly fine. So this small, overlooked battery ends up becoming the root of a much bigger problem, leaving a perfectly good power tool sitting idle, all because it was left unused for too long. But you're in luck. You've come to the right person. Don't let the outside fool you. It may look clean, neat, and perfectly reliable, but inside there could be all kinds of hidden and complex risks you simply can't see. That's why taking it apart is the only way to truly understand what's going on and choose the right way to fix it. Dust tends to hide deep inside the tight corners of components, where it's almost impossible to spot. That's why I'll clean everything thoroughly. You can follow my approach by combining cotton swabs with WD-40 multipurpose oil to clean effectively while keeping things safe and controlled. Combining cotton swabs with WD-40 multipurpose oil isn't random. Each one has a clear purpose. The cotton swab allows precise access to small, deep, and hard-to-reach areas where dust and grime tend to build up, such as contact points, tight corners, or small metal parts. Its soft tip lets you clean gently without scratching or damaging sensitive components. WD-40 plays a supporting role in the process. It helps loosen dirt, residue, and light oxidation, making them much easier to remove without excessive force. It also helps displace moisture, reduce the risk of corrosion, and restore a cleaner, smoother metal surface. When used together, these two tools make cleaning more controlled, more thorough, and safer overall. No heavy spraying, no mess, just focused cleaning, exactly where it's needed, done the right way. The next thing you should pay attention to is that with older detachable drill batteries, the metal connectors linking the internal cells often become slightly deformed over time. This usually happens due to thermal expansion during repeated charging cycles, which reduces proper contact and causes the energy flow to get restricted. At this point, the solution is actually quite simple, gently loosening and correcting the metal contact to restore good conductivity. Basic tools like a small screwdriver or a suitable thin blade can be used carefully and in a controlled manner. The goal is adjustment, not force. After taking care of that part, I move on to a deeper clean using sandpaper. This step helps remove oxidation and stubborn residue from the metal surfaces, improving contact and allowing the electrical flow to run more smoothly. Another simple reason a battery won't charge is that the two terminals have spread apart over time. You can fix this by gently narrowing the contact gap with a needle. A light touch is all it takes to restore proper connection. Alright, once all the previous steps are done, it's time to reassemble everything properly. But don't assume that's the end just yet. There's still one final step to finish things off and make sure everything works reliably. The final step is to bring the battery back to life, gently waking up the energy that's been dormant inside. The key here is choosing the right power source. Using a source that's too strong can easily cause short circuits or damage. That's why, instead of a high output supply, I use a small battery, just enough to reactivate things safely and under control. Connecting power from a small battery to the positive and negative terminals of the pack is actually quite simple. With a small trick using 2 short wires, 2 alligator clips, and 2 metal rings, you can create a temporary, neat, and easy-to-control connection for the reactivation step. These are the 2 metal rings I mentioned to you earlier. They may look simple, but they play an important role in this step. Thanks to their solid shape and good conductivity, they help create a stable contact point between the wires and the battery terminals. Secure, easy to work with, and ideal for temporary connections without stressing the battery itself. Remember to connect the correct positive and negative terminals and avoid reversing them. Otherwise, you risk a short circuit. A little care at this step keeps everything safe and under control. One final tip for safety. Check the battery every 15 seconds to avoid any unexpected issues. Once it starts recovering and behaves normally again, you're good to go. Mission accomplished. We've done it. The indicator light has switched from green to red, and that's a very good sign. It means the battery is finally accepting a charge again, and the energy inside is waking up the right way. What once looked like a lost cause is now back in action, thanks to a bit of patience and the right approach. And that's what I love about DIY. You don't always need to replace things. Sometimes, Understanding the problem is all it takes to bring them back to life. Once installed, the battery works perfectly again. Pull the trigger and the drill runs instantly, with no flickering or hesitation, a result that's truly satisfying.